the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And an inspired rendition of our national anthem. Really getting warmed up here, just moments away. We'll be back right after this.
I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'ma need you to back up. Spilling the tea, you stirring the cup. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'm
Welcome to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. DA will join us tonight on the sideline. And here's a look at some numbers for Harden.
And right now, he's in one of those grooves where he has a tremendous feel for the game. His assist numbers these past 5 look a lot different than from the rest of the season. And by different, I mean better.
And David Aldridge is standing by for our pregame report. David, good evening.
Rockets coach Mike D'Antoni is the modern-day godfather of pace and space. His teams in Phoenix popularized small ball, moving around and pushing the tempo in their 7 seconds or less offense. It's ironic that now his Houston team plays a much slower isolation style of basketball. But Kevin, that shows his flexibility and D'Antoni's ability to adapt to his personnel.
Whatever works, David. Thanks. Clark, great guards tonight for both teams. Did you ever spend any time in the backcourt at any level when you were playing?
No, I was a ball-handling forward, Kevin, and it served me well, but I was not a guard. I was a forward that could dribble and pass fairly well.
So you were ahead of your time because that's all we see now in the NBA, right? Guards are not always bringing the ball up.
Yeah, you know, somebody just mentioned that to me, Kevin, that I was maybe a tad ahead of my time back in the late 70s.
And the Houston Rockets starting 5. Westbrook and Harden, the dynamite pair. They're the backcourt. Robert Covington out there with P.J. Tucker. And it's Gordon in at the 3, the small forward. And for the Clippers, Patrick Beverley out there with Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Marcus Morris and Harrell's in at the 5. Home in the paint. And so the Los Angeles Clippers get the first points of the ballgame. Westbrook, no good. And here's Beverley. Stolen by Westbrook. And here's Covington from the arc. He can't get that one to fall. Leonard looking around. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Beverley finds Leonard over Gordon. And it's Leonard. That time on the assist by Beverley.
Love the unselfishness of Beverley. I mean, when he sees his teammate wide open, he quickly gets him the ball.
Westbrook passes to Gordon. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Right side, Leonard. It's tipped, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Clippers will retain possession.
And he made the right read on that play, but just couldn't secure the steal.
You know, fellas, 1 second quicker, and that's going the other way.
Now, here's Leonard. He picked up 24 points in their last win against Phoenix. The pass to Morris. And here's George for 3. The shot will not fall. So Houston will take it the other way. Harden kicks to Westbrook. Leonard against Gordon. And the rejection by Harrell.
They are 0 for the game thus far. 0 of 4 here, still looking for their first make.
And the rejection by Harden. Here's Leonard. Rebounded by Tucker.
Boy, that defense smothered him in there. Love the intensity.
Westbrook passes to Harden. Off the mark, and the drought continues.
Yeah, slow start right now. 5 straight misses to get this one going.
Pass to Harrell. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Beverly knows he's out there to pass the ball, guys. A skilled floor general. He really distributes it well.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
Yeah, I felt like they attacked, but with a purpose. They knew what they wanted to accomplish coming in.
Boy, it really showed the trust they have in one another. I love how they got after it, and you could feel that they were playing for each other.
Let's review some numbers for Westbrook. 9th in scoring. And he's in the top 20 in assists per game. His talent for creating easy buckets for his teammates, such an asset.
And you noted it. His points per game average is unreal right now. He's literally propping up the team's offense, scoring whenever they need him to. Now here's Gordon. Boy, he was something else against San Antonio. Right side, Leonard. Rockets with the rebound.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
And Westbrook throws it down hard.
Boy, I love Eric Gordon as a combo guard. He's a multi-talented player who can play either guard position.
And if there was ever a definition of a glue guy, Greg, it would be P.J. Tucker. He's so valuable to his team.
You know, PJ gives you production in every way, and his impact really goes beyond the stats. All the little things that coaches want their players to do, that's really the motto of Tucker's game.
Now here's Harden. Following the miss by Marcus Morris. Got that one up quick.
And Harden is a laser, a straight-out gunner from deep. Has confidence in his long ball, and, you know, the defense has to get out on him from out there.
Now here's Leonard. Hard to imagine, but the stats are tremendous as he averages close to 27 points a game. And it's Harrell missing. And it's Westbrook with the ball. He brings it up for the Houston Rockets. On the wing, Harden. Back to Westbrook from beyond the arc. And another three for Houston.
And, you know, when you get a clean look at the rim, Harden usually will find you. I think he's underrated and undervalued at making his teammates better.
Now, here's George. Coming off a solid outing against Phoenix.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Gordon dishes to Westbrook. Three-pointer. That one doesn't drop.
Having a hand up in your face makes such a difference to a shooter.
And, you know, he's a guy who knows how to defend the three-point shot. He's not going to just give it to you. He's going to make you earn it.
Beverly deciding where to go with it. Just 5 to shoot. And a deep three from George. Los Angeles with another miss.
Boy, just cannot buy a bucket, guys. I'll tell you what, that's a painful quarter for him, and it's painful for me to watch, too.
Harden against Beverly. Harden, no good.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
They need this one. George passes to Harrell. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
Yes, and how about the unselfishness? Paul George has no problem sharing the ball.
It's Westbrook with the drive. Can't cash in from close range. Los Angeles has gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Leonard, no luck.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
To me, it appears he's starting to lose his composure a little bit. We'll see if he can regroup and get back into a better rhythm.
The Clippers trail. Now Beverly. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. And it's Leonard missing.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
And he's got to find other ways to contribute then, because his shot making is not happening right now.
Now here's George, following the miss by Russell Westbrook. Beverly with the ball. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game, and it's Leonard missing.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Pass to Westbrook. Houston moving it around. Harden outside. The three. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Leonard's got 5 rebounds tonight. George against Westbrook. And George gets it to go. George has got the game tied up here for the Clippers. Timeout called, the Rockets.
Well, last season for the Rockets, not as strong as the season prior. 53 wins and 4th seed compared to 65 wins and the #1 seed in 2018. Still face the same fate in the playoffs, though. Not able to overcome the Warriors.
Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Zubac is checked in for Harrell. Patterson comes in for Marcus Morris. Landry Shamet's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Jackson in for Patrick Beverly. Jackson against Rivers. Passes it to Green. Shoots over Zubac. Green, no luck.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Yeah, nothing major, not a huge advantage, but certainly a good sign for them going forward.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Back to Rivers. Puts it up from 12. Misses off the left iron.
Well, that's a rare miss for him inside. He may have just rushed it a bit, maybe lost concentration too.
The shot by George, no good.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take. Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
And that one drops for him. George has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Here is House. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. And the rejection by Zubac. In the corner, Shamet with it. They grab their own miss. Patterson, nice work on the board. It's paying off with the basket. And now a 6-point Clipper lead.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's McLemore. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. House kicks to McLemore. And there's the pass to Rivers. Shot clock at 5. Here's Green. Accurate with a jumper from the elbow.
And a smooth jump shot from the veteran Green there. These are looks he nails consistently.
Green against Jackson. Shamet trying to break loose. Jackson, that's good. And the Clippers lead by 6.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Greg, the play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
Now here's McLemore. Another miss for him, now shooting 1 for 4 from the floor. Pass to Shamet. Flushes it down to finish the break.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yep, exactly. And if there's any opportunity for early offense, you've got to push it and push it every time.
Three-pointer. No good that time. And so the first quarter is in the books. Clippers ahead. Ending the first quarter on a 14-4 run. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Now a chance to hear shooting guard Eric Gordon talk about their key to winning.
It's all about not making mistakes, getting rebounds, and getting good stuff to really push the pace up. And I think when we do that, we always are at our best.
And Greg, nowadays, it's all about pushing the pace.
And it's an offensive-oriented league now. When you execute and really look to attack, it puts the opposition on their heels.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Los Angeles.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunity. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far.
Shamet and George at the 2 and the 3. Ivica Zubac is out there with Patrick Patterson, and it's Jackson in at the point. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. Outside, Carroll.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
And George gets it to go.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Lou Williams won Sixth Man of the Year for the third time last season. He joined Kevin McHale and Detlef Schrempf as the only players to win the award in consecutive seasons. And with the most career points ever scored off the bench, maybe they should just name this award after him. Kevin?
David, I'm all for it. Thank you so much. And boy, is he in good company.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
And some nice passing there by Houston. Fades back. Yep, it goes. And the Clipper lead is cut down now to just 6 on the basket from Green. Clark, you played the traditional power forward position in the NBA years you had back in the 80s at such a high level. Who's doing that right now?
Tell you what, the power forward position has changed so much, Kevin. These 4 men now are not really the enforcing type physical guys that we saw in the 80s and even 90s. They're agile, they're rim protectors, they're shot makers from deep, and guys like Anthony Davis and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yes.
Man, I tell you, Anthony Davis goes to the top of my list in today's game.
Blake Griffin, another one with Detroit.
Yeah, good call.
Kawhi Leonard is checked in for the Clippers. Free throw drops for Green.
And the former Hoya Green, a rangy forward who can both score and defend from all areas of the floor.
Fires from the wing and misses it off the right side of the rim. Zubac. They shoot again, and it's good on the way in. Zubac has got his first 2 points.
and they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Outside, Green. Shoots over Zubac. The Rockets again can't hit. Clippers leading by 5. About 3 minutes played so far in this second quarter. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. As we get a break in the action, let's take a peek at the team's scoring leaders. The Rockets 4th.
And how about the year they've had offensively? This is a team that can put points on the board in a hurry. Always fun to watch them play.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. Harrell, he's checked in for the Clippers. Patrick Beverley comes in for Reggie Jackson. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
He's as solid as it gets from the line. I mean, give him the opportunity. He's cashing in on those.
Westbrook against Beverley. From deep, Harden. A three-pointer is right on target. Harden's got 6.
Now, you got to remember that Harden has a quick trigger, staple gun quick. This guy is looking to score as soon as the ball touches his hands.
Now, here's Beverley. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Leonard, the pass to Zubac. Shamet on the wing. Pulls up from the corner. Count that one. And the Clippers lead by 6. And it's Westbrook with the ball. He brings it up for the Houston Rockets. From deep. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Zubac has got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Pass to Beverley. Shamet on the wing. Here's Leonard, and then Leonard with the dunk.
And then Leonard enjoys jamming it home, Kevin. Got to keep him as far away from the hoop as possible.
Westbrook surveying the D. That one's good. Just his 3rd make. Brings him to 3 for 8 in this game.
Well, you know, for so long, Mike D'Antoni has been a vanguard on NBA offense. His teams have always played great offense, moving, spacing, dynamic players. Defense has not been at the level of offense, but I think he's actually improved as a coach in that area as well.
5 on the clock. Floats it up there for Harrell, and Harrell slams it in.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Well, I tell you what, they've got this team just a step away from being completely asleep.
And Clark, part of it for D'Antoni is that he is delegating defensive duties.
Yeah, and I like that, Kevin. He's made sure to have a defensive coordinator on his staff, delegating that role and responsibility. He thinks and knows that his team is better off that way.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
You know, when he was in high school in California, Kawhi won the state's Mr. Basketball Award. And you look at the list of guys who've won that award over the years, it has a lot of the all-time greats on it.
The Clippers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Leonard. Clark, you ever think we'll see a player coach in the NBA again?
I don't think so, Kevin. The role is just so demanding. You know, it requires so much, and there's so much scrutiny now. I don't think
I agree.
you can effectively play and coach in this day and age. No, I don't think you'll see it happen.
Last one we saw was Dave Cowens back in the late 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And that's a long time ago, man.
With the Boston Celtics.
Yep.
Well, you knew that Kawhi Leonard would be a huge name on the free agency market last summer, especially after winning his second Finals MVP.
And Kawhi let the pieces fall before making his decision. Was the last major free agent to choose where he was going to play. Ended up shaking up the NBA in the process by joining the Clippers. And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on them.
Now, here's Westbrook. He picked up 30 points in their last win against San Antonio.
And even if you took away his points, he was still an offensive force because of his passing. His assist numbers were tremendous.
Now, here's Beverly, following the miss by Russell Westbrook. Now, here's Shamet. He's covered closely. That shot misses. Good work defensively by Harden. Left side, Westbrook. From past the arc, it's good from long range. Westbrook's got 5 points in the quarter.
And they are absolutely stroking it from beyond the arc.
Beverly against Westbrook. And Beverly kicks to Harrell. Good D by Covington.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Westbrook drives in. Over Beverly. No good off the back of the rim. Clippers leading by 9. Tipped away. Passes to Morris. Rebounded by Tucker. Tucker's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Well, when he came into the league, Eric Gordon was tagged as a shooter. Now he's been shooting more than ever.
And Gordon the last few seasons has been shooting, how about this, over 8 threes a game. His success rate with them has gone up and down over the years, but one thing is for sure, he always has the green light.
That free throw missing. Well, Eric Gordon is the kind of player that you absolutely do not go under on a screen. He'll pull up from deep.
Yeah, he's got great range, and you watch the former Hoosier shoot, and you see how much he uses his legs. Gordon's liable to take a shot from any distance in the gym. I mean, he's got that kind of range, and his form is very efficient, and his confidence is sky high.
So neither attempt will fall that time for him. Clark, take us inside the halftime locker room in the NBA.
Well, players typically just regroup individually. There may be some conversation between the players as a group, but then the coaches will huddle, evaluate what transpired in the first half, what adjustments need to be made, and then they'll communicate that to the team. And it's basically a time to rest and regroup for the players to adjust and strategize for the coaches.
Clark, you think there's any videotape review in there, maybe showing players certain sets, certain schemes?
In this day and age, for sure, with the use of iPads and technology. If you go back to my time, there was no quick turnaround of video in the halftime locker room.
Right. I do know officials do that, too, in their locker room at halftime. Leonard with the bucket.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Here's Westbrook. Kawhi Leonard with the rebound. Leonard's got his 8th rebound here tonight.
And they hold a huge advantage on the backboard.
Greg, and that's been the key to this lead. I mean, they've really dominated the glass.
Many thought the Raptors or Lakers would land Kawhi, but in the end, he came to the Clippers to write his own legacy. Returning to Southern Cal, where he grew up, was a big part of his decision. The big surprise was how Kawhi was out recruiting other stars behind the scenes to join him with the Clippers.
Shooting 2.
The free throw good from Kawhi Leonard.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
And Greg, definitely that's one of the reasons they're in front right now.
Jackson, he's checked in for Patrick Beverly. Houston with a big group substitution here. Green, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Daniel House comes in for Robert Covington. McLemore's checked in for Eric Gordon. And it's Austin Rivers in for Russell Westbrook. Leonard hits them both.
That's a great job getting to the line here. You know, he didn't have a single attempt in that first quarter because I thought he was tentative. Much more aggressive here in the second.
Now here's Rivers. 9-point game his last outing.
And they've won the rebound battle so far, and it's translated to the scoreboard.
Well, the effort level they've had has been outstanding. Hard to keep a team down when they play with that much energy.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
It's Harden with the drive, and the shot goes in. Harden's got 8.
He does not lack for confidence, and he shouldn't. I mean, this guy is a dangerous scorer.
There's 53 seconds left in the first half. Jackson passes to Leonard. Over McLemore, and Leonard gets it to go on the assist by Jackson. Leonard's got the lead up to 12 now for the Clippers. Jackson against Rivers. Green passes to Harden. And it's off from three-point range.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Green with the block. Here's Rivers, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Marcus Morris picks one up there.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
For Houston, they have made 1 of 3 free throws in the game.
And really, the form at the line all season has been terrific, 79% as a team.
Yeah, guys, they can feel very good about themselves when you bring up those statistics. Impressive numbers.
The first free throw is good.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Yeah, I don't think it's an accident that aggressiveness correlates with playing better. So the aggressiveness is starting to pay off.
So he gets them both. 12 seconds left to play here in the half. George, that's a 2-pointer. Jump shot is good. George has got 12 in the game. From the arc. And we finished one half of basketball. Clippers lead by 12. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Kawhi, you have grown so much offensively throughout your career. What's the focus of that end of the floor?
Just knocking down open shots, my ball handling, making good decisions off the pick and roll, and just try to limit my turnovers.
And you've done well so far, Kawhi. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. The Clippers have the edge here at halftime. They are leading by 12. Shaq, what was your takeaway on the Clippers?
Well, what's really shifted the game in their favor has been their rebounding. They got a good edge on the board, and that's a product of their hard work. All 5 guys have been battling, putting everything they have to fight on the glass. That needs to remain the focus for 2 more quarters if they want to hang on to that lead.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about the Rockets?
Poor efficiency on offense. That's what jumps out at me. You aren't going to win many games shooting under 35%. Bad shot selection, too much one-on-one play, not finishing with authority. Now, these are correctable errors. They could choose to come out in the second half and completely flip that script.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Dwyane Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, you know what, guys? They gave him too many free runs to the hoop in the first half. I think they've got to be a lot tougher on him. Body him up. Be physical with him.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. So on the floor for Houston, Harden and Gordon are out on the wings. Robert Covington out there with P.J. Tucker. And it's Westbrook in at the 1.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets yanked soon. I mean, that's how bad his shot selection has been.
Looking to get it going. Misses the layup.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Now here's Beverly, still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him.
You know, fought hard from start to finish on that play. Defended the shot and then finished it off with the rebound.
Now the pass to Tucker. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Harrell. On defense, the Clippers. For 3, Westbrook. Good on the three-point shot. Westbrook's got it back down to within single digits for Houston. And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. Leonard dishes to Beverly. And yes, it's good. Beverly's got his first points of the game.
And Beverly is a menace inside. I mean, incredibly crafty at finding ways to score down there.
Here's Westbrook. Can't hit that one. And it's the Clippers taking it the other way. After this one, they're off to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. That's game 1 of a 3-game road trip. Another shot, and the layup by George. George has got 14 points for the game.
Yeah, solid work on the offensive glass by Paul George, squeezing the orange and giving them another chance at points.
And here's Westbrook from the arc. Rebound, Kawhi Leonard. And so it's Leonard with it. He'll bring it up for the Clippers. It's a 13-point game. Pass to Beverly. Two free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That one's on Eric Gordon. And Clark, when you look at how the game has changed, if you were entering the league today, how would you reshape your skill set?
Well, the biggest part would be expanding my shooting range. I was a good shooter at the time that I played, but would need to expand it and was just starting to stretch out my shooting to the three-point line. And then also defensively, be a little more committed to that end of the floor, really working to get better there. But ball handling, passing, scoring, rebounding, those were things that I did pretty well.
Good on the second free throw.
Man, I tell you, you really have to appreciate how much Beverly hustles. He plays hungry and with an edge. He's skilled, though, on both ends of the floor in addition to that.
Now here's Gordon. He's got 5. Back to Westbrook. Shot clock at 6. Westbrook missing again. Clippers leading by 14. To the paint, here's Morris. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. George has got 3 assists now in this one. Houston's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. For 3, Westbrook drains the three-pointer. Westbrook's got 16.
And with that 3, his second of the half, he's equaled his total from before the break.
Pass to Morris. George against Covington. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And perhaps the most shocking news of the NBA offseason, Greg, the trade of Paul George. Nobody saw that coming.
Took a ransom of draft picks to get him off the Thunder. Kawhi Leonard recruited him to join him on the Clippers, and Paul obliged by demanding a trade. Came together quickly and caused a major power shift in the West.
And he knocks down the first one.
And every single season, Paul George has kicked his game up another level. I think he's a premier two-way forward who gets it done at both ends.
And the Clippers making a change here. Zubac is checked in. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. So here's Westbrook. He's got 16. Trying his luck from deep. And it's Westbrook again missing. Here's Beverly. The shot's good on the assist by George. Beverly's got 5 points now this quarter.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
It's Harden with the drive. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell.
And it's almost impossible to stay down on Harden's shot fake. I mean, he's effective at getting defenders in the air, and when that happens, you're at his mercy.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first.
And, you know, after being a sixth man during the beginning of his career, Harden has blossomed into a big-time star. He's a top-tier combo guard in this league now.
Landry Shamet's checked in for the Clippers. Harden hits them both. Here's Beverly. 5 points in the game. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
You know, he should be getting extra attention from the defense, not less.
Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Harden outside. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And with all the accolades that James Harden has accumulated in his career, Clark, the one thing missing is a championship ring.
And, you know, there's no guarantees for however great you are individually that you'll win a championship. We've got a lot of great players that weren't able to get that done. But, you know, when you think about it, that's one thing that's keeping him from being in the all-time great shooting guard conversation in the eyes of some. Team success is critically important. Championships add to your resume, but I think at the end of the day, when you maximize your individual contributions, that should be worth something in terms of your recognition and accolades.
Well, a lot of players can get hot, but nobody can match Harden when he gets locked in. The way he can create space and drill shots from deep, really impossible to guard.
Harden hits them both. And with Harden, he not only gets hot for a game, but stays hot, Greg, for longer periods of time.
And you saw that last year with his streak of 30 and 40-point games. For weeks, he can dominate and really frustrate defenses, and there isn't anything you can do about it.
Now, here's Zubac. 5 points in the game. Clock at 4. George, that's a two-pointer. The rebound by Harden.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
There's Gordon with the three. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. And it's 8 points for Eric Gordon.
In perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here.
And team strategies closely guarded. One aspect of the game the fans aren't always privy to.
Yeah, typically there's some type of adjustment made out of a timeout. It might be major or it could be just a slight tweak.
And the Clippers making a change here. Jackson's checked in. Daniel House is checked in for the Rockets. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. He kicks to Harrell. Outside, George. Jackson looking it over. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. Jackson's got his second bucket of the game to go. And here's Westbrook. 16 points for him over Jackson. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Harrell's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Down low. Stolen by Harden. Here's House. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Clippers leading by 13. Passes it to Zubac. Back to Jackson. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Clippers. On Saturday, they'll be matching up against DeMar DeRozan and the San Antonio Spurs. Then on Sunday, they'll be facing Steven Adams and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
You know, some might look ahead at the schedule and start marking off how many wins they'll wind up with, but I think that's a trap. You can't take any nights off in the NBA, and you've got to stay in the moment.
Yeah, you know, Tucker's a little undersized, but he makes up for it with leaping ability and reach.
Zubac finds George. That one good for 2. George has got 18 points.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
And you know that's how it goes with him. I mean, his hot streaks, guys, don't last minutes. They last days.
Harden against Beverly. Dishes to Jackson. Floats it up there for Harrell. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Well, I tell you what, they've got this team just a step away from being completely sleek.
In the corner, George with it. And Harrell slams it in.
Seeing George spread the wealth and picking up the assist, I think he's a better player when he's sharing the ball like that.
Rockets trail by 17. Now a timeout called by Houston.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
Yeah, you know, just look at the numbers, guys. I mean, they are being taken to the woodshed in the paint.
Patterson, he's checked in for Montrezl Harrell. Houston with a big group substitution here. Jeff Green, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Damari Carroll comes in for Eric Gordon. McLemore's checked in for James Harden. And it's Rivers in for Russell Westbrook. Goes up again. Green, no luck.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, one of the things that teams are more aware of in the age of analytics is the importance of sleep. Those teams are making adjustments. Morning shoot-arounds have been moved in some cases to the afternoon or eliminated altogether. There are many fewer teams that are taking red-eye flights across country. Some teams even give players orange-tinted glasses to encourage them to sleep. There's a lot of work to be done in this field, but the direction is clear.
Continuing to evolve. All right, David, thank you. Rivers finds Carroll. Green with the ball. Shoots over Zubac. And it's Green, missing.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul called on the Houston Rockets.
And I think George is clearly one of the most difficult covers in the league. When he's taking it strong to the basket, the defense sometimes has no choice but to foul it.
That free throw good from George. Marcus Morris is checked in for the Clippers. So he picks up just 1 from the line that time.
And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
Now here's McLemore, covered by Morris. Here's Green. Green missing again.
Tell you what, that is a missed opportunity from mid-range for sure. With as little defense as was shown, should have made that one.
Jackson against Rivers. Jackson down low, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Jackson's got 6 points.
Good, solid execution inside. That's exactly the look you want.
The pass to House. To the inside, looking to get back on track here. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And look now at a few years' worth of data. Some of the assist numbers under the microscope for Harden.
The drop in his assists over the past few years have made him more of a one-dimensional player offensively. He needs to get that passing element back in his game, and that'll make life a lot more difficult for opposing defense.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're making the most of their opportunities at the stripe, and they'll need to keep it up to take the lead.
Kawhi Leonard's checked in for Zubac. And Jeff Green drops them both. 1:09 left in the third. Outside Leonard. It's good. 16 points for him.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Now here's Rivers. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Second shot opportunity, and the shot is good. Rivers has got his second bucket tonight.
That kind of energy and hustle on the glass usually produces good results.
George looking over the floor. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And the foul called on the Houston Rockets. 3 trips to the line so far for him in this one. First one falls for him. Houston making a switch here. Covington's checked in. And George drops them both. And so it's Rivers with it. He'll bring it up for Houston. They trail by 18. Now here's McLemore, defended by George. Now McLemore. He's still scoreless so far in this one. 4 on the shot clock. Makes it off the glass. 8 seconds left to play in the third. Outside, George fires the 3. No good on the last second attempt there. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Clippers ahead, up by 16. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. Let's hear what Mike D'Antoni was going over with his team moments ago.
Our biggest thing down that other end, guys. Everybody into them, make them feel you. They're going to make shots anyway. We just can't get them to them.
Emphasizing how critical defense is now.
And they need more of it at this point. He's right on the money with that one. They've got to defend with passion.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. A moment now to reset the lineups, brought to us by Gatorade, all fueled up here for the fourth quarter. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Morris is out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Patrick Patterson. And it's Jackson in a point guard. Shot clock at 3. Here's Covington. Rebound by the Clippers. Here's Leonard. Second chance shot. Sure. Good D by Covington.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Back to McLemore. Inside. Rivers passes to McLemore. Over Morris. And it's sent back by Morris. And George, here we go. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Well, you really have to like how George uses his body effectively down low there. I mean, the defense pretty much has no choice but to foul him in that situation.
At the line for 2. And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Clippers.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going and you just want to keep it going.
And also, their second chance points have been a story all night as well. That's just pure effort and hustle.
And the first one at the line is good. And so he makes both from the line. Rockets trail by 18. McLemore with the ball. Pass to House. Back to McLemore. Rivers gets a wide open look. Another miss by Houston. The Clippers have gone 0 of 3 to start the fourth quarter. Here's Jackson. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. 8 points for Reggie Jackson.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up.
Jackson against Rivers. Sweet little floater.
Boy, that was a sweet-looking teardrop. There's very little defense for that.
Clippers leading by 18. Pass to Leonard. Over House. And it's Leonard missing. Rockets have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Now here's McLemore. He's tightly guarded. Passes it to Covington. And some nice passing there by Houston. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Houston needs to get a shot off from 20 feet out. And he overshot that one, missing. They've shared the load offensively.
And guys, they've put the defense on their heels. You can see right now they're trying to react, and that's what you want when you're in a rhythm offensively. And not the prototype power forward, but he has tremendous athletic ability. And a breakthrough season for Marcus Morris in 2018 and 19. Career highs almost across the board.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Harrell's checked in. Houston with a big group substitution here. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Damari Carroll. Gordon comes in for Daniel House. James Harden, he's checked in for Ben McLemore. And Russell Westbrook has subbed in for Austin Rivers. You know, Greg, the Celtics are encouraging their players to take mental health just as seriously as their physical health. Marcus Morris brave enough to say that helped him a lot.
I mean, the Morris twins growing up in the hard streets of Philly, I mean, a lot to overcome, but by getting some help, that's exactly what Marcus is doing.
And George with this stuff.
Boy, when George is this aggressive with his offense, it's a sight to behold when he gets rolling. Just get out of the way and let him have the marquee.
And it's Gordon missing. And so it's Morris with it. He'll bring it up for the Clippers. A great fourth quarter, just giving up 2 points.
You know, the fact is he's not a lock from there, but he was open enough to where he should have hit that shot.
Gordon kicks to Westbrook. Shoots a 3. Another miss by Houston.
Not sure if he just ran out of gas or what, Kevin, but he's been awful ever since the second half started. Not even been a factor.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Clark, when you think of athleticism specifically, talk about the changes athletically we've seen in the league, say, since the 80s.
It's dramatically different. I mean, there have been tremendous athletes through every decade of the league's existence, but it's gotten better with improved training and more knowledge about the anatomy of the body and how to enhance its performance. But now it seems like great athletes are, you know, a dime a dozen versus 8 to a dozen back in the 80s.
The first one falls. Both free throws good from Kawhi Leonard. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Another miss by Houston.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
And George with the stuff.
Hey, and George really is one of the better dunkers in the league. Actually, one of the best. He's creative. He's got great bounce, excellent length, and pretty creative every time he gets a chance to throw it down.
And so it's Houston with it. The Clippers getting the bucket. To halt the run, the Rockets with another miss.
Fantastic positioning there to contest that one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he challenged the shot, and you can see the effects on the release of that shot. I mean, it turned a simple jumper into a tough one.
Now here's Leonard. 6 to shoot. Back to Morris. From deep three-point range, and it's Leonard missing. Houston's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That's on Reggie Jackson.
Well, you knew after the Paul George trade that the Thunder would look to sell on Westbrook as well. Just part of the rebuild at this point. His agent did well to get him to a team looking to compete. A great fit for a player in this stage of Russ's career.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. Clark, do you think we in the media overemphasize championship rings when talking about an individual player's legacy?
Yeah, I think when you talk about an individual player's legacy, a player can be a champion without a championship ring. I know there's another level of champion which includes a championship ring, and sometimes it gets distorted in my estimation because an individual only has so much impact on a team being a championship team. There are no individual team champions. Teams win championships. Being a key player or a role player on a championship team is certainly worthy of recognition and being held in high esteem, but I don't like to see championship caliber players being diminished in the court of public opinion because they didn't win a team championship ring.
Like Stockton and Malone.
Exactly. You could go down the list, a number of guys who just weren't, for whatever reason, able to get the ultimate in a team championship, but had championship Hall of Fame careers.
And guys, not sure where his head was on that shot. Not what this offense was designed to create.
Not at all. I mean, that's where they want him looking for a teammate, not trying to do it on his own. He needs to share the wealth there.
Now, here's Shamet. He's covered by Westbrook. High, arcing shot. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. And for Houston, they're shooting only 31%. Their offense really struggling to put possessions together.
And you really can't forget about Green's speed. So effective on the drive.
Now, here's Shamet. And the pass to Green. Mark, do you think the NBA should consider expanding the use of replay? I know you personally need to slow the game down, but you also want the calls to be correct.
Well, it depends on the circumstances, Kevin. I like the fact that replay is available and it helps enhance the ability of the officials to get calls correct. Expanding the use of replay, though, has to be done very judiciously. There are a couple of areas, goaltending would be one, where you take a look to see if that's the case. But I think flow of game takes priority over trying to get every single call right just because you think technology gives you a chance to do that.
Don't usually see him shooting the three. Westbrook's got 10 points here in the second half.
He's showing no signs of letting up here.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
I needed my fingers itching. Vacation I'm living, got so many Benjamins, they think I'm getting it printed. I came with them deals. Still living in crib. You can't even come for the kid. Once a month, I'm in that ghost, you just set it with 100. I walk you up and I do what I want. Just spend on like 30. I got enough bread to feed you little bird. Right up Diamond District. I'm up in New York, I'm in my stacks. Thinking out facts. To the max. I used to juggle them X. Now I'm in for the release. I'm eating spaghetti and fish. Pull up in that sport in the back. Looking like cataracts. Club throwing that
Now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
He sure has given this crowd a treat tonight. This kind of performance only cements his status as a fan favorite. Clippers leading by 22. Mark, we hear a lot about the young basketball players in this country, the good ones playing in the AAU system. Is that the best way to develop talent for the NBA?
It's one of the better ways because the competition level is quite good across regions and throughout the country with these AAU teams. I think there's some great AAU programs and some tremendous benefits for participating in AAU basketball. Some things are better than others with it, but overall I think it's pretty solid. Misfires again, and the ball just refuses to cooperate with it. It's a tough day so far.
Beverly, the pass to Leonard. An easy 2 points on the layup. Leonard's got 20 points.
And he's got the athleticism and strength to be a powerful presence inside. Leonard never afraid to get in and mix it up down low.
Now here's Westbrook. That shot off. Excellent D there from George. Beverly against Westbrook. And Beverly kicks to Leonard. Stolen by Westbrook. By himself and finished off by Westbrook.
And you know Westbrook has an outstanding vertical. Once he gets to the launching pad, rim, beware.
Now here's Beverly. Leonard inside. He's against Gordon. A well-timed shot fake got the defender off the ground right there.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Clippers.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so they'll stretch their victory total to 19 on the season.
And they will walk out of here feeling really good about themselves today, guys. A big win over a conference foe they'd split their previous 2 games with.
Greg, they've got one more game left against them, and there's no doubt they'll use this as a jumping-off point to take another game off them later in the year. At least that's the plan.
And as usual, some excellent work tonight in what was a quality big impact game for Leonard.
Yeah, and he was aggressive rebounding the ball tonight. I think his aggressiveness on the glass helped set the tone.
Here's Green. Paul George making his last shot. The drive by Green. Noah with the block. Out of bounds. Rockets ball as Houston keeps possession. Pass to Rivers. The tray. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
Pass to George. Shoots from 12. And the basket is good. George has got 31 points.
And it's just competing. You know, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, you know, once they got victory in their view, a huge injection of energy and a great run to finish it off.
Here's Green. That shot off. George with the defensive effort. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Paul, obviously your team is built on defense. It seems like that's a big part of this team's identity.
I mean, we take pride in our defense. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we hang our hats on is, you know, locking down when it counts. And we stayed together and pulled this one out.
Great team effort tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.